Five biggest challenges black people have for the next 100 years. The number one challenge is the existential crisis of the black family. The existential crisis of the black family. Marriage in our culture is down to 34%. When we were growing up, it was 85%, is now down to 34%. 71% of our sisters are not married, 29% will never get married, 63% of our brothers are not married, 30% of them will never get married. There is no culture in the history of humankind that has risen to maximize their full human potential without family at the center of their culture.
So the title of this video says, "The Sobering Truth, the number one challenge in the black community is the existential crisis of black family." Let's continue to listen.
Only exists. This is an interesting but negative statistic. This phenomenon of the existential crisis of our family only exists among African American black people. It does not exist on the continent or anywhere else in the diaspora. So there must be something in the water. We must fix this. It is a lot easier said than done because it is impacting our wealth. Quick statistics. For 350 years, household median income was dominated by white people. They were number one in this country. They no longer are number one, they're number three, and there's a reason for it. So, who has the highest household median wealth in America? It's East Indians. $104,000 a year. What's the marriage rate in the East Indian culture? 94%. Two are working. Who's number two?
Also interesting.
Chinese Asians. Household median income $110,000 a year. Marriage rate close to 70%. Number three are white people.
Wow.
Household median income $88,000 a year. What's the marriage rate? Almost 50%.
Wow, that's interesting. By the way, this is Dr. George C. Fraser. And quick question for you. Did you guys expect that? Those stats when it came to the median family income portion? I think about these things once in a while, especially as someone who does love this country and the opportunity I've been awarded, especially as a man who's married, has a family, and don't plan on leaving this country, plan to have more children here. I think about this often. Let's keep listening.
Down significantly. Number four are Hispanics. Household median income $61,000 a year. Marriage rate close to 70%. We are at the bottom. Household median income $55,000 a year. Marriage rate 34%. And projected based on facts and statistics that if we do not fix this, because white folks ain't fixing this, our marriage rate will be in the low teens in the next 20 years.
Wow.
This is an enormous challenge. That's a whole talk by itself on how do we fix it. It can be fixed, but we have to, first of all, understand that this is a problem. No one's talking about this problem. This is a huge problem. It's the number one problem in our culture. So we must fix it.
Wow. Listen, in this video, I'm more curious to know what you guys think about what was shared in the stats that have been shared in this video. Let's check out a few reactions. So I first saw this video because I see it resurfacing. The video was on TikTok, and then I saw it again on IG, Instagram right here. And there are two types of people I've seen really are interested in this specific topic. What topic am I talking about? Approaching solving the issue of broken homes from a macro level rather than a micro level, which my approach, I'll tell you what my approach is pretty much save yourself, right? And I don't know what the future holds when it comes to marriage in any culture, regardless of any ethnicity or race here in Western society. We see marriage rates are declining. And while I believe this fight is honorable, I take a more personal approach to helping men who do value marriage in our modern day protect themselves as much as possible, which is why, of course, I created fathershaverights.com, and have legal information all available for men free with offer code review, right? We have the prenuptial guide and some other stuff on there, all available so that a man who wants to get married can position himself the best way possible so he can limit his losses in case, as we know, things don't work out. But I've really noticed two camps really value this approach, right? You have people who lean conservative when it comes to politics. So I saw this video here, and as somebody who has more conservative values when it comes to social issues and family structure, I can agree with this aspect to this discussion. You have people here like this gentleman who says, I shared it because it's the stark truth. Somebody else here says, great words of wisdom. And here's another person who says, how did this come about? Somebody else here added, I appreciate his courage to speak about the truth. This is real talk. Don't worry about the cool club. It is overrated. You have somebody else who says Democrats never help like they promised for years. Somebody else here added, get away from Democrats and this problem is fixed. And so, you have people here chiming in on this video. And then you have people who take a more spiritual perspective to this, like this person who shared the video with the caption, here's one of the reasons why I have made marriage ministry my priority. If we do marry right, everything will be in order. Top comment here says the only way to fix this is to turn our face back to God, reconciliation. And so this is usually the perspective that a lot of people who identify as Christians like myself, who believe in Jesus, who believe in God, who believe in the Bible, will have this perspective of, well, this is happening because people aren't embracing Christian principles. And I do agree with that. But I do think there is a perspective to this that's a little bit short-sighted. What do I mean? A lot of people like to believe that God doesn't bless marriages unless if a marriage is exercised in a Christian fashion. And the problem with that theory is all the people who are performing better when it comes to family structure don't come from societies where Christianity is really number one, right? What do I mean? I'll make it more clear. I believe regardless of what you may believe in when it comes to your faith, if you practice the principles that I believe were set up by God to love your partner, be patient, understand that this is not a fairy tale, and you commit to each other, then he'll bless you. The same way that people who do not necessarily identify as Christian do experience good health. They can still lose weight. They can still be healthy if they follow the laws of biology, nature, and take good care of themselves, right? The scriptures say God causes the rain to fall on the just and unjust. What does that mean? That means God is better than you. He is good and more good than you. Thank God you're not God and I'm not God, because I would be stingy with who rain falls on, right? And I think a lot of people think like, oh, just as long as you're Christian, it's going to work out. Not necessarily, because if you look at the church itself, the divorce rates are, wow. This next commenter says, so a single black woman making $132K is a problem. Most men I come across are looking for someone to take care of them. Marriage is great, she says, if you are not being exploited. So I guess she's the one who earns over 100K here. And she, of course, is missing the whole point, right? And this is why I say this idea that you're going to go and get all these people on the same page, I wish you the best. Save yourself, right? Decide if marriage is something that you value and prepare yourself if that's the direction you want to go in life. This person says, you ignore him and keep doing what you're doing. He's speaking about something bigger than you and as individuals. Yeah. Somebody else here added, R.I.P. Kevin Samuels. Of course, guys, I'm curious to know what you think.